You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your website, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Alright folks, well, happy Wednesday evening, that's right. Normally I would be saying happy Monday evening, but I have still been under the weather, so we've taken a couple of nights off in between technical issues and some other things that are going on. Want to give a quick announcement, and then we'll actually get started with the show, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this down for just a second. Now, for those of you who planned on tuning in and checking out Constitution and Culture live this evening, unfortunately, the gremlins actually plagued them as well. They were having internet issues over on the West Coast, so they weren't able to get things kicked off. Now, from what I understand, they're going to be doing a special encore episode, maybe sometime this coming week, to make up for the fact that they couldn't do one tonight. But I do hope that if nothing else, you'll go check out the replay. I mean, they haven't done one yet, so everybody needs some time off once in a while, and this time their internet decided they were going to get one whether they wanted one or not. And again, I am the host of America Off the Rails. I'm also one of the managers around this here, KLRNradio.com. So I want to thank everybody for taking a moment to tune in, listen, hang out, talk, chat, hang out, whatever it is that you decide to do. We have some contests that I definitely wanted to talk to you about this evening. The one that I know the most about, I was supposed to be getting some links from a certain station manager friend of mine who's taken over the day-to-day stuff, and she didn't manage to get me what I needed to do. So I'm going to talk about the one that I know, which is a giveaway for a mug that was actually commissioned and been put together. And we're giving that away now. So if you want information on that, it's pretty easy to do. You just go over to the website, click on the Contact Us form, fill out the information, let them know that you're entering for the mug. And, of course, station staff and family members are not eligible. Otherwise, I would have already entered like a million times. It's like the coolest mug ever. You got to go check it out. It is awesome. It's an original commission, and it was a piece of artwork that was put together that they decided to have to turn into a coffee mug. And so she has decided to make a duplicate mug and therefore give it to one of our very special listeners. So make sure you're tuning in for that. All right, so the housekeeping and all that fun stuff's out of the way. What do you say we get this thing started, huh? Folks, again, this is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson, coming to you live from KLRNradio.com. And honestly, it feels like I haven't done radio in about 42 years. That's the bad thing about taking time off when you're sick. And not to mention, I mean, you know, I got sick right around the holidays, so we were taking lots of days off right around then, too. So it just felt like it's taken forever to get things settled again. But I'm actually starting to feel pretty good. I can actually talk for more than 30 seconds at a time without needing to mute my microphone and keep from coughing in your ear. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I won't have to mute myself a couple times during the show, but it is getting a little bit better, actually a lot better than it was. Now, we have a lot of things to talk about. Actually, we have a lot of stuff to talk about in general, because I really haven't done a full show now in quite some time. So there are all kinds of things that have happened in the news. Some of this stuff has already been talked about a little bit here and there, but we're going to talk about it anyway. I'd actually planned on doing an in-depth show on the SCOTUS pick that Trump announced, but I think I'm actually going to do that tomorrow. I have some audio. Well, actually, I have some audio that we're still going to play today, but I have some more in-depth audio and some articles that I wanted to get to. And tonight, I just kind of feel like taking things in a different direction, so I'm calling a bit of an audible. So for those of you that I had mentioned that I was going to be using some articles and stuff, that show will still happen. It'll happen tomorrow night. I don't know. For some reason, I kind of feel like taking things in a different direction. And I think it's because there's just still so much craziness that I haven't really had much of a chance to talk about. Some of this is actually from about a week and a half ago at this point, when there was a pro-abortion rally in D.C. I have some audio that I just kind of want you guys to hear, and I just don't understand how we've gotten here. I mean, this one for one.
And I didn't know devils could be resurrected, but I feel Hitler in these streets. A mustache traded for a toupee. Nazis renamed the cabinet electroconversion therapy, the new gas chamber, shaming the gay out of America.
Really? Electroconversion therapy. So for those of you who have not been paying attention at home, one of the left's biggest arguments about Governor Pence, now Vice President Pence, was the fact that apparently he supported electroconversion therapy and other forms of conversion therapy for homosexuals. Now, I just want to make this perfectly clear. This was something that he was trying to do for people that were looking for ways to not be homosexual anymore. He wasn't forcing this on anyone. These were people that were coming to doctors and going to places and saying, look, I don't want to be this way anymore. Is there something that you can do to help me? Now, I'm not going to talk to you about whether that is a right standpoint, a wrong standpoint. You can get into the argument, well, it's the only reason they're doing that, Rick, is because we have this society that does not allow people to be who they truly are. That is an argument that you can make, but it's also an argument that I can say, I'm sorry, I don't agree with. Because, I mean, look, again, I'm going to irritate some people, but hey, it's been about a week since I've done that, so let's go ahead and get it out of the way now. I've talked about this before, this whole transabled syndrome they have going on now, where people that are like that are perfectly normal identify with having a certain disability, so they do everything they can to either mimic that disability or they cause themselves to have that disability so that they'll feel more comfortable in their own skin. These are the things that we are starting to make mainstream and normal in America. These are the things that are proving to me that we have more and more people that have become mentally unhinged. And sadly, Ashley Judd seems to help prove that point even more.
We are here to be nasty. I'm nasty, like my blood stains on my bed sheets. I'm a nasty woman.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. You are.
I'm a nasty woman. A loud, vulgar, proud woman.
Not quite so sure what you're proud of, but yeah, we'll let you have that proud moment while you're talking about this.
I'm nasty, like my blood stains on my bed sheets.
Ew. Can I just say ew? I mean, seriously, these are the people that we've had in D.C. telling us how normal they are when they're anything but. And I just realized I completely blew through the first break, so we're going to have to take a really quick break. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be right back, and then I'm going to have to shorten up that next segment, too, so we can get back on clock. I'll be right back here in just, about 60 seconds or so.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Alright folks, welcome back, and again, this is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson, and we have been talking about Trump derangement syndrome, which in my opinion actually kicked off right after the inauguration. We had a bunch of crazy feminist women talking about nasty blood-stained sheets and tampons and everything else, all through D.C. Now, the interesting thing about this, usually it's the left that's all, pro-environment, and we got to keep everything clean, and we got to make sure that everything's great for the environment, etc. And they trashed D.C. while they were having this rally that was supposedly for women. But remember, this is the same rally that they said pro-life women couldn't attend. But it was a women's rally. Unless you were a pro-life woman, then you're not really a woman, at least according to them. But the interesting thing about all that is these are the same people that tell us, climate change is real, have to take care of the environment, have to clean things up, and yet they trash an entire town. Now, of course, there was a Snopes article that got put out about it that was like, oh, but see, they made sure that this was all a protest, and they left their trash in a very specific place to show Donald Trump that they weren't taking any of his crap, and then because they put it all in one place, it made it much, much easier for it to be able to be cleaned up. Okay, even if that were true, could you imagine if a right-leaning group had gone to D.C. and left trash anywhere? Anybody remember seeing any weird pictures about how everything was trashed after the Tea Party rallies? No, because we actually went and policed all of our own stuff. We picked it all up, we took the trash away, we did what we needed to do. Occupy Wall Street? Yeah, they trashed everything. They defecated all over the place. The women's rallies in D.C. And now they had one here in Oklahoma as well. I haven't really heard any negative press about that one, but it was a much smaller event. They had about 4,000 women in attendance. So, which sadly means we have about 4,000 crazy people in the state of Oklahoma. What can I say? Even the crazy is here. I mean, look, at this point, day and age, folks, you really can't get away from the crazy. No matter how hard you may try, it is going to find you, because it's just the way it is anymore. Because the crazy is everywhere. Because now the crazy is normal. And if you're not crazy, then there's something wrong with you as far as society is concerned. And we kind of touched on that a little bit before the first break. But simple fact of the matter is that happens to be a fairly true statement, because they're normalizing pretty much everything about crazy that they can. They're now making it normal and okay and standard for people that think they have a disability or wish they had a disability to go maim themselves to make sure they have the disability that they feel like they should have had in the first place. How is that sane? How does that work? I just don't understand. Now, we have some other audio and a few other things that we're going to be getting to today. But again, centered around Trump derangement syndrome. One of them, actually, I guess we have time to play this one before we take the break. Because it's just kind of interesting to listen to. And I think it only... Yeah, we've got just about enough time to squeeze it in, and we'll talk about it when we get back.
Congressman, the president's defenders would say that after the Iranian hostage crisis, Jimmy Carter asked Iranian students to report to immigration offices. During the Obama administration, the State Department paused Iraqi refugee processing because of terrorism concerns. So that what Donald Trump is doing here, it may be bigger, but it is in keeping with what previous presidents have done.
You know what? We've never had a religious-based ban before, and they can't deny that this is a Muslim ban. It is a Muslim ban. On the campaign trail, he said he wanted a Muslim ban. He said on national television that there would be other religious groups that would receive priority. This is a Muslim ban. Rudy Giuliani, who helped him write it, said that they started out with the intention of a Muslim ban, and then they sort of languaged it up so to try to avoid that label. But it is a religiously based ban, which is something that our Constitution says Congress shall make no law establishing a religion or abridge the free exercise thereof. This is a violation of equal protection. It is a religiously based ban. If they can ban Muslims, why can't they ban Mormons? Why can't they ban Seventh-day Adventists? Why can't they move into ethnic groups?
But in this case, they've named countries which were named on lists already by the Obama administration. And if it were a Muslim ban, why wouldn't they ban Pakistan and Indonesia and Turkey and Egypt? None of those countries are affected.
All right, so we're going to stop it right there and talk for just a second. Then we're going to take the break and finish listening to the other part. Now, I'd like to point out a few things here, because first of all, just to set the record straight, President Trump has used the word ban multiple times. But let's face it, the guy doesn't actually filter what comes out of his mouth. I don't think he meant that in this instance, because it's not really a ban. It's a pause. They're not saying nobody's ever going to be able to come here from these countries ever again. There's not a ban. There's a pause. Not only that, but a lot of these people are still going to be allowed through. What they're asking at this point is to take a pause so that we can double check all of the people that are coming through these countries that we know have... most of these countries that we're talking about that they have this hold on right now have active terror cells in them. They're undergoing strife because of extremists. They have proof that people have filtered in from other countries that have extremists to these countries. These same groups have told us that they are going to infiltrate the refugees. Should we not at least take them at their word and play it safe? Now, there are a few things that have happened that I want to talk about when we get back from the break that I don't necessarily think should have happened the way they happened, but that and more when we come back right here on America Off the Rails. Don't go away. Going to pay some bills. We'll be right back.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
And we are back. We are live. This is America Off the Rails, coming to you live right now on KLRNradio.com. Want to give a quick shout out to the rest of the affiliates. We have AMFM247.com, where the show can be heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. We have, almost forgot one, Red Nation Rising Radio, the Liberty Channel, where the show can be heard every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern. We have, the Lanterns Media Network. Sorry, folks. Trying to think of all the places the show is, and it's been so long since I've given them the list, I can't remember half of them. Anyway, Lanterns Media Network is we're there every Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Then, of course, we're on crntalk.com, where we are syndicated to multiple outlets over there on every Saturday and Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. And, of course, we're available on iHeart, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, Blueberry, and pretty much anywhere that you can find podcasts. If you can find one that we're not there, shoot me an email and I'll make sure we get added, because at this point we're pretty much everywhere that we can find. I'm sure there are a few here and there that we may not be aware exist yet. So if you can think of any, let us know. We'll get us added. But anyway, back to what we were talking about before the break, and then sadly, because I went so long on the very first segment, we're going to have to take another break here in just a couple more minutes. I know it kind of sucks to have to pay bills and follow a clock, but we got no choice. All right, so anyway, blame the host. I went long first segment. Always throws everything off when we do that. All right, so anyway, we've been talking about this whole ban, as everybody likes to call it, for these so far 7 countries. And again, it's not a ban, it's a pause. They're not saying they're never going to let people from these countries in again. All we're asking at this point, because we already have all of this chatter about all of these extremist groups that are saying, hey, yes, please, 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 put these refugees in your country, because we'll make sure that our people are coming in there with them, and we're going to kill you. I don't care if you think the odds of that are 1,000,000 to 1. It is worth taking the extra time to make sure. Now, this should not have happened on a Friday afternoon. This was a very bad thing. I will say one of the things that scares me so far is most everything that President Trump has been doing is being done by executive order. I seem to remember a certain President, Barack Obama, when he got happy with the pen and the phone, everybody had a cow. It was, oh my God, he's not following the Constitution. We must do something because he's destroying the country because he's not following the Constitution. And now that's exactly what the left sounds like, even though Barack Obama has passed so many executive orders that he had to change his pen every 30, or written out and signed so many executive orders that his pen had to be changed out about every 30 seconds. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, the left is upset and the right's like, hey, no big deal, Trump, do what you got to do for the country. Now, again, talked about this a little bit on a previous show, but we're kind of tying everything back together because it's been so long since I've done a live show. The simple fact of the matter is, some of the things that Trump has done have to be done by executive order, because a lot of what he's been doing has been undoing a lot of the things that the Obama administration has done in the last several months. Some of that stuff requires an executive order, but it's time to start cluing Congress back in and making sure that Congress actually has a reason to be here, because we are still a republic. We are not a monarchy. We are a form of a democracy, and therefore Mr. Trump should not be able to take care of everything with his pen. Now, I will continue to call him out for that. Now, when we come back from the break, I'll talk about a few things, again, that I think he's done well. But again, on this particular executive order with the temporary stay on people coming in from these countries, shouldn't have happened over the weekend. When we come back from the break, we'll talk about a couple of people that I don't think should have been not allowed back into the country, and we'll talk about why when we come back, and then we'll move on. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be right back after the bottom of the hour break.
Message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Having a place to go after school will make you a better student. Having an outlet to express yourself will make you a better artist. Having something to do together will make you a better family. At The Y, we're helping build better friends, listeners, writers, swimmers, scientists, and musicians, one chance at a time. Give the gift of opportunity. Support The Y at ymca.net. The Y, for a better us.
Folks, welcome back. We got about half the show left here, so we're going to keep plowing on through so we can make sure we touch on everything that we wanted to talk about today. All right, so what we've been talking about before the break is this whole stay on Muslims entering the country, or actually anybody, I'm sorry, not just Muslims, entering the country from these 7 countries that have been listed so far. Now, we're going to finish playing the rest of the audio because I promised I'd finish playing that, but I didn't want to do that right before we had to go to break again, because you're going to hear the speaker pick up and talk about the fact that, well, actually, I'll just let him say it.
Minneapolis. Congressman,
apparently it didn't pause. Hang on a second. I think we were right about here.
Well, according to Reds Priebus, they're working on it, right? I mean, that's what I heard him just tell you, that they might just add more. But the fact is that terrorism, a horrible scourge on the planet, comes from all kinds of places. Some where the majority of the population is Muslim, some not. And it even comes from within our country. And the fact is that we cannot make a religious-based distinction. We have to go based on the evidence that we find that people are actually engaged in. And let me just tell you, when you want to ban refugees, these folks go through an 18 to 24-month vetting as it is. The fact is that if you talk about banning Syrians, about 3/4 of those folks are women and children. A full third of them are kids under 12 years old. Now, as the world is watching Syrian children being dying in war, I mean, he said those children have no place of refuge in America, and I find that.
All right, so there we have it, and it just continues from there. And of course, you heard him before we went to break. He was talking about the fact that, they're talking about adding more countries to the supposed no entry list. I haven't really heard too much about that one way or the other, so I'm not going to comment. But the simple fact of the matter is this is a temporary situation. And to me, it makes sense. I mean, again, I wish it hadn't happened on a Friday night. There were a couple of people that I think they probably should have shown some leniency to. One of them was the gentleman who actually risked his life to help us, who was coming over from Iraq, who had already sold his house and already done everything that he needed to do to get over here, and was basically turned away at the last minute. I have a problem with that. There was another woman who I guess was coming into the country to visit her sick mother and was also turned away. I have a problem with that type of stuff going on. I understand wanting to be more careful. I understand wanting to be more vigilant. I understand wanting to vet people more. I get that. We need to do that. But there are ways that we can do it without making it a hardship on people. We have the technology now that we can recognize people fairly quickly because of all the facial recognition and everything else that we actually have access to. I mean, there are ways to do this technologically that make it as easy and efficient as possible and still make sure that we're safe. Now, granted, nothing is perfect. Things can be hacked. Things can be manipulated. But we can use technology to make this transition into us being a little more safe a lot easier. But I don't think we're going to do that. I just don't. All right, so anyway, we have more that we're going to be talking about today, because as the Trump derangement syndrome has continued, there have been all kinds of little flashes coming across my newsfeed for the last about 40 minutes about some, I guess, rioting going on at UC Berkeley. I guess they're burning things. They're, running around with their Trump or love Trump's hate signs while they're beating Trump supporters over the head with them. It's just all kinds of interesting things going on. I don't understand it, because, if we as right-leaning individuals were doing half of these things that these people have been doing since President Trump got elected, we would have already been thrown in jail. These people are practically getting parades. I just don't get it. I mean, how did we get here? To the point where we have no civil discourse at all anymore. It doesn't matter what your personal beliefs are anymore. It doesn't matter what your political beliefs are anymore. If you do not align 100% with someone's beliefs, then they're going to attack you. I've seen it happening more and more and more. So there's this syndrome that we've been calling Trump derangement syndrome. But the interesting thing is it seems to be infecting all sides. Because there is this very staunch Never Trump group. Now, remember me. I was part of the Never Trump group. I'm now in the Stuck with Trump group because he is president. I didn't want him to be president. I fought very hard to try to make sure that he wasn't president, but he's president. So now we need to find out what he's going to do. We need to give him a chance to put forth his agenda before we decide what we're going to do, much like we did with Obama. I gave President Barack Obama, the benefit of the doubt for as long as I possibly could, until I realized that he wasn't going to do what he said he was going to do. Which for him, honestly, did not take very long. It was kind of apparent the weekend that he met with Congress and all of the stories started coming out about their closed-door meeting at the White House, where he basically told the Republican, at that point, then the heads of the opposition party, that elections had consequences. He won, and deal with it. Not to mention the fact that this is the same president that said, hey, you don't like policies, you don't like the way the government runs, then go out and win some elections and make changes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that what we've done? And yet now we have an entire group, the same group that was mad because everything was being obstructed, nothing was being accomplished, and it's so un-American to not work with the president, until now it's not the guy that you wanted to be president. And now everything that you were yelling at us for doing, because we're looking at you like you're crazy, because we're watching all the stuff that he's doing, and all of the executive orders, and all of the things that just completely made us go nuts. And because we're like, no, because we didn't want Obamacare, and he didn't do what he said he was going to do with Obamacare, because he didn't leave the negotiations in the open Senate floor so they could remain on C-SPAN. He moved them behind closed doors. Because remember, he told us we were going to be able to look at it. We were going to be able to see every second of the debates in Congress. He was going to put it up on the website for weeks so people could read it. And then it became we had to pass it to see what was in it. And then it was, well, if you like your doctor, you'll be able to keep your doctor. The doctor that helped my children, my family practitioner, the one that took care of all of my children, shut down his practice and went back to a group practice just to get around some of the red tape from Obamacare within a year of it being passed. So don't tell me if I like my doctor, I can keep my doctor, because that's a lie. But we'll talk about some more of this craziness that is going on when we come back from this particular little break, because I didn't realize it was already time to take another break. We got to go. We'll be right back.
Businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Having a place to go after school will make you a better student. Having an outlet to express yourself will make you a better artist. Having something to do together will make you a better family. At the Y, we're helping build better friends, listeners, writers, swimmers, scientists, and musicians, one chance at a time. Give the gift of opportunity. Support the Y at ymca.net. The Y, for a better us.
Folks, well, believe it or not, we're actually starting to get pretty long in the show, so I guess maybe I'm not going to get to plow through everything I wanted to plow through today, but we are going to talk about at least one other thing here real quick, because I have to say, again, I have been pleasantly surprised by a few things with President Trump. The EPA pick, Scott Pruitt from Oklahoma, actually has me pretty excited because I think he'll do a good job reining the EPA back in, which has a lot of the leftists freaking out, but I don't mind the fact that we're talking about bringing the EPA back into its scope of originally intended duties, which nobody's really talked about doing ever since its inception. I also like the SCOTUS pick. The SCOTUS pick is actually somebody that we've been looking at for a while. I have a little bit of audio from the speech, and I have to say something else that surprised me. Donald Trump makes an announcement about this big primetime selection where he's going to announce the SCOTUS pick, and he talks for 7 minutes, and then he turns the microphone over to the pick. I don't remember the last time, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't remember the last time that I saw a sitting president call a press conference, talk for 7 minutes, and then actually let you listen to the person that they want to be in a particular position. So there were lots of things that I like. One of these is the fact that he actually stuck to his list. Now, I have to say, this is one of the things that I thought he wasn't going to do. And I said it over and over again because remember, this wasn't Trump's list. This was a peace offering from the GOP. And Trump read it and then started trying to walk it back. And I guess at some point he realized that it was actually a good idea to use the list. And I have to say, I was ultimately surprised, pleasantly so, that he used the list. We have some audio that I want to play about that, though.
This may be the most transparent judicial selection process in history. Months ago, as a candidate, I publicly presented a list of brilliant and accomplished people to the American electorate and pledged to make my choice from among that list. Millions of voters said this was the single most important issue to them when they voted for me for president. I am a man of my word. I will do as I say, something that the American people have been asking for from Washington for a very, very long time.
Now, again, I just wanted you to hear that because I have to give him props. I did not think he was going to do it. Now, as we all know, and this was pretty apparent, the SCOTUS pick was actually one of the biggest factors for voting for Trump because he told everybody back in February, if you elect me president, I will make from a list the best possible choice for SCOTUS. And I honestly think he has done that. Now, I don't know if it was him that did it. I don't know if it was his advisors that did it. But the fact that he did it actually, again, gives me just a moment where I can sit back and I can breathe. And I know our leftist friends out there right now are throwing things at their whatever device they're using to listen to this particular show, and they're freaking out. But I just want you to hear some of what the pick had to say.
For the last decade, I've worked as a federal judge in a court that spans 6 western states, serving about 20% of the continental United States and about 18 million people. The men and women I've worked with at every level in our circuit are an inspiration to me. I've watched them fearlessly tending to the rule of law, enforcing the promises of our Constitution, and living out daily their judicial oaths to administer justice equally to rich and poor alike, following the law as they find it and without respect to their personal political beliefs. I think of them tonight. Of course, the Supreme Court's work is vital not just to a region of the country, but to the whole, vital to the protection of the people's liberties under law and to the continuity of our Constitution, the greatest charter of human liberty the world has ever known. The towering judges that have served in this particular seat of the Supreme Court, including Antonin Scalia and Robert Jackson, are much in my mind at this moment. Justice Scalia was a lion of the law. Agree or disagree with him, all of his colleagues on the bench cherish his wisdom and his humor. And like them, I miss him.
And I miss him too, just to be completely honest. And I think this is the best possible person to replace him. And I'm really, really glad that that has happened. All right. And you know, we're just going to talk about that some more. Because again, I was shocked, and pleasantly so. I mean, so I have to give him some credit, because I honestly did not think it was something that he was going to do. And there's something else that just came out today that I was pleasantly surprised by, because I can honestly say that I don't think this would have happened with the previous administration. There was, and I'm going to try to find the article so I can mention him by name, there was a Navy SEAL that was recently killed in action, executing a plan that was actually approved and begun under the Obama administration, but actually executed under the Trump administration. There were so far, in that one operation, there were 3 SEALs that were wounded, one that was fatally injured and has died. And President Trump made a trip with to meet his family today and to welcome the fallen soldier home. And he did it without making a big deal about it. He didn't make an announcement. As a matter of fact, he actually swore the few press that were going to be able to go with him to secrecy to make sure that nothing got released until he was ready for it to be released, because he wanted it to be a private moment for the family. Now, I have to admit, that again surprises me, because Donald Trump is typically, to borrow a title from Jerry Springer, Donald Trump himself is basically the ringmaster. He's used to being in the center ring. He's used to being in the middle of a mess. He's used to being in the middle of a circus, and used to being the life of the party, and the person drawing the most attention to themselves. And he did the exact opposite. Not only did he do the exact opposite, but he actually took the time to meet with the young man's family and give them condolences in person. I don't remember the last time that I heard about President Barack Obama meeting with any of the families in person. I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm just saying I don't remember the last time that I heard about that. And for this to have already happened so early in President Trump's President Trump's first term, and for him to show as much class as he just did. I mean, there have been a couple of things that honestly have been a complete blow to my view of Trump. First, the fact that he actually did what he said he was going to do, and he stuck to the list. And now, second, that he took the time to meet with that young man's family. All right, so we have got to take another really quick break. When we come back, well, it's almost time to say goodbye, but we got to take this last break. We'll be right back here in just a couple of minutes right here on America Off the Rails.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
All right, folks. Well, believe it or not, that's going to just about do it for this particular episode of America Off the Rails. And again, just like we mentioned at the top of the show, if you'd like to get in on this giveaway for the mug, make sure you're going to klrnradio.com. Use the Contact Us form. Let us know you want it. Put your name in the hat. We'll see who gets it. And again, for those of you who tried to tune in and catch Constitution and Culture live tonight, as far as I know, they're doing a makeup episode at some point next week, and they'll be back, of course, at their regular time next Wednesday as well. That is going to do it for this particular episode. You guys have a great night. Take care. God bless. We're out.